Alright, Henri versus Shixo. Henri, you've seen him already this evening. And he is playing both brackets. So he played against Crazy Bus earlier in this casting session, and this is the upper bracket where he's in a group with Umdeuter and Shixo. The 1600 plus. No Magnolia command just yet, then it's maybe we need to add one. Henri with the Huns. Again here, he played Huns versus Crazy Bus with success, I think. But my short-term memory may be failing me. Anyway, good. Arabia Civilization could keep up the aggression, playing 1 TC very aggressively because you never need to build houses. So you usually don't see Huns going for rushes because they start with 100 less wood because of their wood savings not needing to build houses. So if you're doing a rush, pre-mill is basically out of the question. But you could still do a post-mill rush and extend it a few more militia and just really keep the opponent on their tiptoes like Huang used today in back in the Woobly days. Now he's more of a Celt guy. Shixo with the Bulgarians, he gets instant infantry line upgrades, so men-at-arms, that's kind of a go-to opening for the Bulgarians in many scenarios. They only get archers, no crossbows, no arbalests, so that's an issue. They get unique technology from the castle for cavalry, the stirrups, which allows the cavalry of Bulgarians to move 33% faster. It's a sort of an invisible upgrade, so I think it's... You don't see it in Castle Age a lot, but if they get it in Castle Age, that's going to be confusing when you face with similar numbers in knights or cavalry fights in general. Let's speed this up a little bit to see what the Feudal Age brings us here. Could be they're both opening scouts, actually. We'll see if Shixo at some point collects 10 gold. Yeah, he's going to go for the men-at-arms. But Bulgarians also being one of those cities that can actually go men-at-arms into scouts because they don't spend any resources on the actual men-at-arms upgrade. So the barracks is up, militia in the making. While Henri will go for the scouts with the scouts dying to either villagers or TC fire here. Maybe he tried to delay the barracks a bit. So scout opening quite nerfed here for Henri. But the mobility of scouts being an advantage over Shixo's slower men-at-arms opening here. That's not to say Shixo can't follow this up with the scouts straight away, though, because he does have the wood to drop a stable once he reaches to Feudal Age as well. It should be interesting to see if that's what he's going for here. Or if he just goes spear defense against the hunting scouts. He's making spearman. He is not dropping in stable, is going to commit to farms instead then probably. No, there it is, there's the stable. So never mind. Man-at-arms into scouts confirmed. Oh, that's an interesting wood line. I mean, Henri, if you had houses, you could actually house wall this. But I guess you just drop a couple of palisades to prevent any enemy army entry from that direction. Couple of scouts now out for Henri. Has one more in the stables here. Nice small walls on the barriers, keeping the units safe. He cannot comfortably engage against the men-at-arms here because Shixo has a spearman moved in as well. And look at the awkwardness of walling out aggression here with Huns. You can't house wall, you have to use building foundations or palisades, and one villager down for Henri there, but he did manage to kill one. I guess that was back when he hit the barracks of Shixo. He managed to get one villager over there, and 2 villagers down now for the orange player, with the idle TC time being lower, compensating a little bit for the lost units here. Oh, men-at-arms are at it again. Can he quick wall this out? 2, 3 pieces. Yeah, it's going to be the least efficient woodland ever, but at least he keeps the men-at-arms out, and he could even trap them. He could send a builder forward now and trap them from both sides here. Just finish this palisade, and Shixo can't move. But he's going on the counter-offensive here. Shixo with 2 spearmen out, but one of them at least is forward. Hitting the woodline again, though. This is massive early damage for Shixo here. He's getting 4 villagers, while Henri also renders the woodland of Shixo useless over here, and in return denying some wood for potential farms. They're both getting pretty darn decent villager trades around here. Five scouts now. You'll need to focus the spearman first if he wants to use scouts exclusively to fight this. I guess he would want to pull in villagers to fight from the other direction as well. Villagers could effectively fight the spearman if need be, and Shixo is just waiting for the berries to deplete here so he can break in and get more villager kills. Henri not investing into any more villager for now. Somehow he is with a better eco situation as well. He has lower idle tease time. That could be part of the reason. With a garrison here and a quick palisade over here in Palisade Gate, he could actually get some hits in with the town center fire as well. Now he chooses to engage with villagers and scouts, and in total the hit points difference is well ahead for Henri. He's going to lose another villager in the process, but he cleans up the men-at-arms, and because of the counter aggression he made, Shixo's follow-up hasn't been top-notch either. He has the stable, is making another scout. It's 2 scouts now for Shixo, but Henri has 4 scouts of his own. So if Henri commits to some spearmen as well, or even archers as he's doing, he's set with a good unit combo to deal with what Shixo's going for here. He knows of course that Bulgarians won't be playing the archers, at least not long term, because of the lack of a crossbow upgrade. So this is, even with the losses taking, it's looking pretty decent for Henri here. Also on the move again, no upgrades on the scouts, but decent numbers, dodging the spears there, trying to hit the walling villager maybe, no, just using the mobility and speed here, and the spearman gets a hit in. 1 archer forward from Henri gets punished heavily by the scout of Shixo there, considering that that archer didn't have any upgrades. More scouts in the queue. This might come as a surprise to Shixo here. It's 3 vs 4, but he's full HP against weakened ones. But guess what? Here come 4 more hunting scouts, and the stables of the hunts works 20% faster, so that makes it easier to mass and remass units like this. Come the Castle Age hunts have 20% discounts on the cavalry archers as well, so that's one to keep in mind. As the scouts numbers increase and the archers are joined in as well, spearman is much less of a threat for Henri here, and is with a convincing military lead now, with the eco situation keeping up as well. Eco upgrades are similar. Second stable for Shixo here, so he is also planning the extended feudal age here with more scouts to try and keep up with the hunts production here, where Henri is actually still on only one stable. Bloodlines for Shixo could be a game changer once it kicks in, unless Henri is paying attention with to the hit point situation of the scouts. Couple of spearmen here as well, but the archers should easily deal with that now that they have fletching and a decent mass. And yeah, massive numbers advantage for Henri here, I would say. 17 to 10. Armor for Shixo, hill advantage for Henri. He's using the archers, but now I think the Bloodlines is catching Henri off guard here. Though because of the sheer numbers, Henri is still getting a very good trade here. preempted power on the gold for Shixo, but the scouts can still idle the gold and force the villagers to garrison, so that idles the gold income a bit here. I guess that gold collection is mainly for the Castle Age transition for Shixo here, because the farming eco will allow for that transition. One villager sniped by Henri as well, so 4-6 KD now, but due to lower idle TC time, Henri is actually now in the villager's lead. Couple of archers looping around to the woodline as well. Could be very annoying to idle much of that wood income there. It's now 19 to 8 military here. Shixo, the only one with bloodlines here, but Henri has the defense now, which makes it more... which makes it easier for Henri to dive close to the TC and try to snipe weak villagers as well. Good reaction by Shixo there, actually, to pull the weak villagers away and not risk the scouts sniping them. But I think the scouts could risk TC fire here and run right in on the woodline as well, when you have cover fire from the archers on the other side of the woodline. Where's the bloodlines for Henri though? I think it's going to prioritize getting to the Castle Age sooner here instead. He's happy with just +1 defense and relying on numbers over upgrades here. Every time Henri risks an engagement with Shixo's Bloodline Scouts, he just pulls away and closer to the archers, so the archers can provide cover fire and even out the HP situation here. And the hill advantage, of course, being taken as well. Henri taking another good fight here, but still the Bloodlines units with defense here, they are challenging the fights here as Henri takes some losses, but also keeps consistent production now, mainly archers here. 11, 13, 3, 7. Shixo with some skirmishers, but that shouldn't work with this mass of scouts out for the orange player. Scouts versus scouts here. Here we can see the lack of bloodlines for Henri actually making a difference here. He's losing numbers rapidly now. He's still focusing down spears though, and he's actually not making more scouts. 21 on food. He might be saving up for the Castle Age transition now, knowing that Shixo has been out of gold yet again here, and relying on an uptime advantage here. Or is he making scouts? He's still making scouts, so we're still looking at the continued field edge fighting. This almost looks like land madness to me. Oh, it's still not getting forging. I mean, I think it's just looking at the upgrades and realizing that Henri doesn't have bloodlines. He doesn't need forging when he has more hit points. Or he just forgot, which is obviously perfectly understandable as well in the heat of the moment, having to micro units all the time. Oh, Archer's going down on the gold here. Shixo's attention is lapsing and is taking some losses now. 11-6. Henri flooding out those units, still 20 archers now. When Henri, I was going to say when he gets to the Castle Age, but he's actually behind currently. He's still playing Feudal Age here for a while longer. Shixo is getting up, but he's been off gold, so he's not going to make a huge advantage on that Castle Age. He also invested into a tower, so he'll need to mine a lot of stone to make crep posts or whatever defensive building he'd like to make here. Gold in the front, to the sides here. They're both really exposed with the current army size and mobility that Henri is fielding. And you note that Henri consistently stays close to the gold over here as well. He wants to deny Shixo off gold and get kills whenever he can. If you kill a villager carrying gold, obviously Shixo is going to lose that gold as well, and this game might very well end. Even if Shixo reaches the Castle Age here, what's he going to do with that Castle Age? He is going to be able to afford 1 TC because of the Bulgarians' town centers costing only 50 stone. But I don't think that's the right play here. He needs armor. He needs army. Yeah, the archers can sit underneath the towers and take it out as well. Quite correct. Or even the scouts with the attack upgrades. Yeah, it's committing the scouts. Doesn't really matter what kind of unit you commit, as long as you sit underneath the tower and they won't be taking damage. So Castlage is in, but Henri is guarding the gold. He's going to take out this crucial defensive tower. Shixo has the market, so he can sell some wood for gold here to pump out some knights, but he's not going to be able to make enough knights to hold off against this aggression. The tower is down. Shixo needs to find gold somewhere else ASAP. And Henri is also 2 minutes to go to the next stage. Yeah, look at the army masses. It's 35 to 9. Even if Shixo gets a couple of knights out here, he's not going to be able to afford that +2 defense, which is important against range fire, even if it's Feudal Age Archer's mass. Henri cleans up here, he's losing all of his scouts. He could still pump out some more though. Does he have more stables? I think he's going Cav Archers, yeah. Cav Archers and Knights maybe. A little bit of everything here. 3 stables, 3 ranges. Wow. Just Hans thinks. Back on gold here, but Henri with another little wave of units here to deny that gold income yet again. Only 48 gold in the bank for Shixo, and the archers could start sniping farms as well to cripple any knights production that Shixo wants to get going here. It's definitely GG. Shixo is at 30 villagers to 47 and is at a huge disadvantage army-wise as well. 78, 32. No way. No way. No way Shixo recovers from this. There's the Castlage. +2 defense even for Henri's current armies. His gold situation isn't anything crazy though. If he had a market, he could sell the stone and he had some instant gold to boost his production. He's floating quite a bit of wood as well. But he has his Feudal Age armies. I'm surprised he didn't go for crossbow right away actually. Or bodkin. But Shixo holds on at the very low eco that he's currently feeling. 2 knights, about to be 2 knights, and 3 light cav. I don't even know why he went into light cav at this point. Maybe he thought he had more scouts out than was the case. So much idle eco. 27% work efficiency for Shixo here. Archers are weak, that could also be why the crossbow upgrade was delayed, but here they are. Still only +1 defense for Shixo's knights, so the crossbows will of course shred them. More villagers going down. I already had 6-7 scouts when they got in and no gold to make knights. Yeah, fair enough. GG well played is called. Henri takes the first win, and let's have a look at the stats here. Scouts, light cab being the most created unit. KD should show some nasty numbers here, but even as well. They did trade army somewhat evenly most of the time, except Henri made more archers together with the scout. Scout archer working out nicely for the Hans player. And it's all about keeping the aggression up so the opponent can't counterattack. Then your economy, even if it's subpar in efficiency, it will allow you to bring in resources without the units being idled. 3 stables, 3 ranges. Yeah, impotent buildings. Interesting stats. Eco upgrades the same here as they reach the Feudal Age. Both making it to Castle Age, but Henri with obviously more economy in the bank. Builder lead as well. Didn't really take any huge losses. Henri did lose any after the initial aggression. Not a lot. He lost 10 builders total. Castle Age time 33, 33. What's with 33 then is? Oops. Anyway. Maybe we were quoting song lyrics I don't know or something. I don't know. We're going into the second game, which is Viking versus Berbers and Yellow versus Orange for this one. They switched up the colors, so Shixo did. Maybe he wants to hide away with the yellow, picking the tryhard Viper color here. Anyway, Berbers for Henri seems to enjoy the cavalry play, while Shixo is going to play the Vikings, and presumably playing the archers. Please change the colors as then it's... That better? You probably want me to change the orange, don't you? Anyway. It doesn't matter, at least change one of them. Yeah, orange, yellow is hard to distinguish, I'll agree on that. Immediate pushing of deer here for Shixo. Maybe he's going for an aggressive early men-at-arms build here. His early scouting is on point as well, though. He knows the location of both the elephants while still taking the sheep. Henri, back elephant, semi-forward elephant, laming, absolutely an option here. But for the time being, let's just fast forward a bit through the lock age and keep an eye out for any potential laming here. I don't think they'll lame, though, considering they're both pushing in the hunt and just staying at home with the scouting here. I feel like an early scout would benefit the Berbers here, even if the Vikings are going for the men-at-arms. If you pull off an 20 pop scouts here, you'll be up much sooner than the Vikings 22 pop men-at-arms here, so Henri will be producing some scouts before Shixo gets to the men-at-arms. But look at the walling here. He doesn't want any scouts roaming around his base nice and early on here. He's actually walling in towards the base here. Has the perfect base for it, as well as until any ranged units enter the field, because the wood line, the one and only, is here. It's fine until Castle Age crossbows, I think. And then the main gold in the back there as well. It's just begging for walls like this. Even if it's very compact, it's going to keep everything that Shixo has secure, unless Henri risks HP loss to his scouts and just runs in underneath the TC and hits economy regardless. Maybe that's what Henri needs to do here. Men-at-arms, a couple of seconds away here. Beefy Vikings Men-at-arms, 162 HP total for these three, and 54 HP on each one of them. 7 attacks total. And going straight for the berries. Henri might take some early losses again here. Nice block by Shixo, but not good enough. No villagers lost so far. And TC Fire taking care of the scout and the men-at-arms. That's unfortunate for Shixo here. Okay, it's fine that the Vikings men-at-arms have extra hit points, but they're not that tanky. They're not Malian's style arrow withstanding here. But Shixo successfully takes Henri away from the food economy here, and Henri just grasps the opportunity to trap these men-at-arms. He'll need a house on this side or a palisade to really keep them out, so... And that's going to be an annoyance, yes, but... He's plopping up the range, and he'll maybe pop out an archer or two just to clean them up. Maybe just one archer, and then skirmisher defense against the Vikings archers follow up. 2 ranges, which Vikings can do as one of the few sims because of the strong economy they have from the feudal age onwards. Yeah, these guys are no danger anymore. Henri is housed for the moment, but he is producing one archer, and these archers will clean this up. She's just on standby to repair the walls here if need be. 5 scouts moving out now. Henri doesn't have a lot of scouting intel here, but he's seen the temporary walls here on this perfect little homemade arena, or hideout rather, of Shixo here. There are some exposed weak villagers though. 1 spearman to defend, but it's a Viking spearman, so he has 54 hit points, as opposed to the generic 45? No, yeah, what is it? Is that the kill? I think Henri commits and gets the kill, and now he's going for the wood line. He's trying his best to dodge the spears. He's always going to be at risk of running into spears or TC fire here, but he's getting great value from the scouts now. Walls of Shixo, not enough to keep the Berber scouts out here. Hill advantage as well, that's the setback of these kinds of terrains, of course. That's 3 kills for Henri already, evening out that difference that instant wheelbarrow makes. And Henri, however, higher idle TC time here now is at equal villager numbers, where he could be at a 3 villagers lead because of the eco kills here. But he is disrupting Shixo's economy big time. And while the economy of the Vikings is strong, it's not that strong. It's forcing a lot of reactions at home base for Shixo here, but the value has already been made. 3 villagers eliminated. Another weak one that could be spotted and sniped here. But great value from the scouts forward. Nothing else to say about that. Henri will not be going full feudal and scouts this time around. He's not up against another potential full scout civ with bloodlines here, so that's not the scenario here. He will aim for the castle age and the cheaper cavalry of the Berbers and earlier castle age in the Vikings to pump out those cheap knights and hopefully deal with the archer crossbow mass that he has successfully limited the production of. Shixo, oh man. He's all the way over here with the woodline. He couldn't find a better one close to home, of course. You have this one, you have this one, you have this one, but that one is just so small because of the ponds. And this is out of Henri's sight, hopefully, unless he scouts this area. And it's, even if it's a long walk to get here, at least it's going to be efficient for a long time because of the thickness of it. Mainly skirmishers for Henri, while Shixo sends forward the archers. Let's see the engagement here. Fletching not in yet for Shixo. He hides away until Fletching kicks in. Could consider taking an engagement here, but I don't think he wants to do that. He's already down 4 villagers. And Henri is going to commit to skirmishers forward now to further idle economy, or at the very least keep Shixo's military advancement at home here. No more scouts, no more archer. The archer goes down, but Henri has the hill with the skirmishers, focusing another spearman and dancing around a bit here to try and snipe archers in the mix here. And it's going Castle Age. Wow. So, not over-investing by any means in the skirmisher, just enough to hold Shixo's aggression out yet again. 0 villagers lost for Henri, higher idle TC time, but Castle Age well ahead of the Vikings here. At least 1 minute, probably more, depending on how Shixo commits here. And here they come. Shixo unknowingly or unaware of Henri's gas stage transition here. Only 1 minute to go. Gold mining coming in to boost the gold income as well. Berbers with 2 stables, yeah. And bloodlines at the ready. Henri could, if he didn't invest into the preemptive important tower on the main gold here, he could actually go into 2 TC straight away as well. But that's not really the Berber style. You want to stay 1 TC for a prolonged period to benefit from the easy massing up of knights. And Shixo is here with basically all of his army forward at Henri's base, not finding the woodline to hit, and is about to run into just a couple of knights to clean this up. Henri actually preparing to pull the villagers away from the woodline and not risk any damage here. First few knights should easily deal with this army mass though, especially if +2 comes in. That +1 feudal age armor is already in, so yeah, 2 knights clean this. I think it's half archers, half skirmishers. So even with the hill advantage, it's going to take the micromanagement of a lifetime to clean that up. Shixo will not get any builder kills here, and Henri is playing solid. He's even being patient with the with the knights here, but here they come. 0 on wood for Henri, but he doesn't really need it currently either. He's actually floating quite a bit of wood, so why not just save the lumberjacks, send the knights in, and cripple Shixo's armies while the cast stage just kicks in there. 3 knights to deal with this little mass before any upgrades kick in for Shixo, and the rest just moves straight forward to look for some juicy damage on the home base of Shixo here. Shixo will try to mass up the pikes, 14 on wood, 13 on food. He must have been planning this already. Full pikes, generally a good response to the Berbers. It will at the very least force the Berbers into a complementary unit like the skirmishers or scorpions to deal with the infantry masses. But we are not looking at the threatening mass of units from Shixo just yet. He's only got a few pikemen out, barely any upgrades whatsoever. They are Viking pikes though, so they have some extra HP on them. Thanks for the raid, Empire Ant. This is my last cast of the day. It's my mini tournament, Arabia Express, with 16 players max brackets. Actually, the 1600 plus bracket only has 9 players total, so they're playing a group stage into final stages, best of 3 sets. And Henri is actually the underdog here. He is seed 9 in the tournament. He's playing both the upper and lower bracket because he is effectively, at least according to rankings and according to my knowledge of his play, he is below 1600, so it's justified that and he's already out of the 1600 lower bracket actually. So he's definitely not out of place here, but he's been performing very well in these games. He won the first one over Shixo here, and he's in a very good spot now for the second one in the best of 3 as well. Yeah, the archers go down, the remaining archers, the pikemen being focused on as well. Henri only missing the second attack, and that's not really what he needs to stress when he has +2 defense in. He can dive down centers, he can flood knights, and this might be a game on the shorter side because Shixo's home economy is so limited here. It does try to scramble up some reboom to the sides here, but he's taken hits already. He's down 10 villagers, even with Henri having higher idle peace time. Henri is also on 2 TCs. And yeah, more villagers going down here. Rough game for Shixo. GG is called. He's lost too many. He can't recover. This is too early for me. Okay, it's too early in the day to play, maybe. Yeah, yeah. Sometimes you have to compromise. Henri is in Australia. I'm not too sure about Shixo, but time zones could always, of course, be an issue in matchup such as these. 2-0 for Henri, 23 knights total against 24 pikes total, but upgrades better for the knights, and then they can justify fighting pikemen even if it's not entirely cost efficient, even for Berbers. So a little browse through the stats here, looking at the eco upgrade timings, and late double with axe there for Shixo, but that's because he was heavily punished by Henri's opening 5 scouts as well, reading the map well, the walling Shixo did. Vikings, fantastic economy, and it's a good call to wall off early like this, but it doesn't necessarily keep scouts out if you dare run in and try and scout for the exposed villagers and resource piles. So GG, well played to Henri. It takes a 2-0 in the 1600 plus bracket here. Not bad at all.